In a world shaped by the dreams we see in our sleep, Zeztz enters people's dreams as an agent on a mission. Equipped with a cutting-edge rider belt worn across the chest, Zeztz brings a bold new form to the battle. This is the introduction of the new season of Kamen Rider Zeztz. Greetings, everybody. This is Alistair Dayhawk giving you my thoughts and opinions of what happened during the press conference yesterday. And, also my thoughts about, the final trailer, I believe, the second trailer. I'm not sure if it's the final one. And just pretty much giving you, okay, who's going to be playing whom, and of course, who's going to be the head writer for this new season. I have to say, in regards to the trailer, I watched it twice, and I was getting a lot of James Bond. It's just when I watched it the first time, I felt like, is this going to be like James Bond? Because I just felt that, like James Bond. And oddly enough, I've never seen any of the James Bond films before. And yet I'm like, why am I getting James Bond vibes? And also I've been getting a lot of Wizard, because the monsters that Zeztz is going to be fighting this year into the next year is monsters called nightmares, where they invade people's dreams. And it's similar to what Wizard did, only I don't remember him entering people's dreams. But, it just had that same, thing. So I was like, this is like James Bond meets Wizard. A little bit of build, because the main character, had this weird thing that he does with his hair, similar to, what Bill does when a bright idea comes in, only it's not right on top of his head, but on the side of his head. So that's something that I've noticed. And, the trailer, other than the James Bond and, Wizard feel, it looks promising. At least it wasn't like with Gotchard's trailer, where I felt like this thing, it felt boring. Like there's nothing there to really be excited for. In this case here, I felt, oh, they're cooking something. This is going to be different. And, they're going to be broadcasting here in America and other countries. They didn't even say on the press conference. Maybe they did, because it wasn't sub. So I just okay, I just, whatever. Supposedly Toei is going to broadcast this thing in every parts of the world, but we don't know yet if it's is it going to be on YouTube or another streaming service? That's the thing that hasn't been announced. So, hopefully if it's on YouTube, which I think most definitely it has to, amongst other streams, I just think that they should post every single episode, not just 1 or 2 or 3 episodes, because that would have been so ass if they do that. I hope that they don't. They should, post every single Sunday. But I don't know how they're gonna do it. But it's just right now, how did I manage to watch the press conference? Because I'm sure you'd be asking me, oh, you're doing a press conference review now, considering that I didn't do one for Gavv. Well, for Gavv, I didn't have anything to watch it to. YouTube wasn't hosting it, and I wasn't into Twitch at that time, so I just figured, what's the point of doing it? So, yeah, I kind of figured I watched it, might as well make a video about it and just give out my overall thoughts, and also tell you guys who's going to be playing whom and who is going to be the head writer, which, by the way, it's not the head writer that wrote Gotchard. Thank God, because Toei has this history that for every great season, one or two other seasons ends up being the drizzling cacas to a mid-season. If you watch a lot of Kamen Rider as much as I have, you tend to see the pattern. And whether Toei knows it or not, it's just like, come on. I mean, let's make every season a good one, not be like, oh, we have a great season last year, let's make a caca season this year, and so on and so forth. Hopefully they're not doing it on purpose, but I'm just like, guys, I've been watching Kamen Rider for years, and I've noticed this trend a lot. And once we get to, who's going to be the head writer, it'll be like, okay, it's this guy, and already we have this question. So, yeah, so overall about the trailer, it's promising. It hit all the right notes, and, it's going to be a tough transition into, coming from a great show like Gavv and just like letting it go, because it's going to be released in September, and to watch the first episode, I mean, every time I watch the first episode, I need the first episode to be good in order to be like, okay, Kamen Rider is in good hands, so don't worry about it. Whoever came before, it's good. Because there's moments where if the episode, like the pilot episode, is not great, I'll be like, okay, I already miss Kamen Rider so-and-so already. I already miss it. Yeah, so hopefully it's going to be great, but I've noticed that for every pilot episode, it will turn out great. It's just, carry on that momentum that is going to be like in question, right? So in terms about the press conference itself, whose dumb idea was it to host a press conference outdoors, knowing that Japan is right now in the middle of roasting right now? Sorry, brain fart. But Japan is roasting right now. It's like they're having their own heat wave, and you cannot tell, but the moment the actors came out, they were already sweating. One of the actors who was playing as the detective, which I will get into of who's going to be playing whom, and that's it, and so on. He had napkins, and he's just wiping his whole face around. Like, everybody from that stage, and I'm sure from the crowd as well, which it wasn't so many people, they were moist. They were moist. And the main actor, the one who is, dressed in with the button-up shirt and all that, like, he was wearing white. And I'm surprised that I haven't seen his shirt all wet, considering how hot it was outside. And by God, the MC, she was wearing all black. I'm like, lady, you must be crazy to wear all black in the middle of a heat wave. Golly, I mean, you either brave or very foolish on your part. But then again, some of the actors, if not all of them, were all pretty much like drenched in sweat, because especially two of them wearing all these like the jackets and all that. It's insane. Like, my God, it's just the only issue I have about the conference is that why didn't they move the conference inside where there's AC? It's just, I don't understand if that's Toei's idea, or I don't know. It's just like, that's the first thing that came out of my head as they were doing the conference. I'm like, wait a minute, why are you guys doing outside? And there was noises in the background. You hear trucks and like, oh, like, come on. Like, it's just, I felt like, come on, read the room. Like, just move it inside a building next time. Like, do it outside when you're not experiencing a heat wave. Because, come on, your actors are in costume. and God only knows how many layers are they wearing, and it's hot. And I'm surprised they didn't have water in hand. At least one of the actors was smart enough to bring in, tissues, napkins, and just to wipe, his face. And just, come on. It's just like, whatever. But, of course, I'm not going to go into full detail about the press conference, because what the press conference is just, seeing the suit, for the first time, which we already seen in links and all that. The actors introducing themselves and be like, hey everybody, I am Kamen Rider Zeztz, and my name is so-and-so, and I'll be playing so-and-so, pleasure to meet you, and so on and so forth. And then, the MC asked them questions, just general questions, and then you have the actor, the star, given, they have the belt, and have an introduction, and then do the henshi, and then, everybody comes back, take photos, and, thank you for being a part of the press conference. Hope you guys get the opportunity to watch Zeztz next month, that sort of thing. That's pretty much what a press conference is, and nothing more than that, and also showing off, like, who's going to be the head writer, and of course the trailer, and that's it. It was an hour-long press conference, so, yeah, that's pretty much it there. So what I'm going to do is, guys, you have to bear with me, because I'm infamous in terms of butchering Japanese names, but I'm going to do my best here, and I will show you this picture of who's going to be in Zeztz and who's going to be playing whom. And we have a surprising return from Rider's past, and the moment I saw her on the trailer, I was like, no way, no freaking way, because I liked her in Zeztz, and to see her back, I'm like, cool. She's a badass to me. She was great in Lobo, and I wish she had more airtime, in my opinion. But this season we're gonna see her have more airtime and becoming a detective nonetheless. But I'm jumping ahead of myself here, so here goes nothing. All right. So we have Baku Yoruzu, aka Kamen Rider Zeztz, and he's been played by Ryotaro, aka Ace 2.0. And the moment we saw, everybody saw him for the first time, everybody online assumes that, wait a minute, he looks like Ace, so we're gonna name him Ace 2.0. And for some reason too, because of that, they assume that this season we're gonna have another season of Zeztz. And I'm like, come on, just because one actor looks like another actor from 3 years ago doesn't mean that we're gonna have like a Zeztz-like season for this new season. But people are already like, oh my god, it's Ace 2.0, and like, no. Come on, guys. You're jumping the gun here, especially when we don't know yet, like, who's going to be writing this thing. Because remember, there were rumors going around that the head writer for this new season is going to be the one who wrote Gotchard, which was a train wreck. Come on. I don't want to rant for another year if that were to happen, but luckily it didn't happen. However, there's a lot of mixed bags in concerns of the head writer for this year. A lot of mixed bag. Like, one, but I'm getting sidetracked here, so do forgive me. So, yeah. So, Ima Rokutaro is going to be Baku. And then the next actor, the next character, is going to be Minami Yorozu. And she's being played by Yagi Maki. And then we go to Kenta Kenta Mishima, and is being played by Tetsuya. And then we get our Lobo. We get Lobo back, guys. Lobo. Lobo, well, yeah. Nagomo Natsukawa is being played by Rina Nuki. She was in Geeks as Kamen Rider Lobo. And when I saw her, I was like, oh my god, she's back. Oh, the badass is back. And she's going to be playing a detective. Ooh, I can't wait. Hopefully this season is going to treat her well. So I think already is like, okay, I'm going to watch her. Like, the moment I saw her, I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this season a chance. Because, I don't know, something in the back of my head is telling me that this season may not be as great as Gavv, but, we have to wait and see, It's just, first impressions and whatnot. And then we get to Mem, who's been played by Hororiguchi Maho. And then we move to this walking, talking motorcycle robot by the name of Zero, who's been played by Jay Kabira, the voice of Zero. And then we get to what looks like to be either the secondary rider or its villain, but I get this feeling that this guy is the villain of the story. Nox, who's being played by Yuki Furukawa. And yes, and also just to add, right, because I bet you're wondering who's going to do the voice of the driver. It is Koichi Yamadare, who's doing the voice of the Zeztz driver. And that is your cast. And then now we hit who's going to be the head writer. And I'll give you a hint. He wrote Geeks. He wrote 01. He wrote X8. So you already know who is going to be the head writer for this year. Yuya is back. And with him being the head writer, already we're gonna have this question of who is going to die on Christmas and gets revived. Because knowing him, they die on Christmas and people get revived. People don't stay dead on Kamen Rider. It's just a soap opera, guys. Soap operas, they break all the rules. If you kill a character, they will be brought back to life by some weird explanation, whatever. Here is no different. Yuya is going to be the head writer, and already we're going to have, like, who's going to be killed off on that Christmas episode, sorry. I'm like, who's gonna die? But don't worry, you're gonna be brought back to life. Don't worry, you're not gonna stay dead for for so long. But yeah, Yuya is gonna be the head writer, and the director is one of the directors is gonna be the guy who did King Oger. So yeah, and when I mentioned that, people are having, mixed opinions about this news about Yuya being the head writer is because, for one thing, he has been known to be great in the first half, but then once we hit the middle and the ending, it just goes downhill. So there's that, and also the occasion of the character getting killed off on Christmas. It's just getting old at this point. Like, it was great that first time. It was a shocker. And the second time, sure, but doing it more times after 2 more times, it's just getting old and very predictable. I hope Yuya breaks that and just like decide that this year no one's gonna die on Christmas. But then again, you don't, it could happen this year. It could really happen. And I'm like, okay, I'll be like, in one of my reviews, it'd be like, hey, who's gonna die? who's gonna be dying on Christmas this year? Knowing Yuya. But hopefully it's not Lobo. I hope not. It better not be Lobo. I'll be very pissed off if it was her, but no. But yeah, I mean, overall, it's a good beginning, good trailer. At least it's not the head writer from Gotchard. That's a bright side. But Yuya, I don't know. He's very predictable now. Like, I would have preferred, someone new, like an unknown, to someone who wrote Double or maybe Gaim, especially Build. Like, I want those writers back. But, it's this whole thing with Yuya. After every, 2 years or so, he comes back to be the head writer. And, it's just, they need to find somebody else, in my opinion. That's just me. Like, it's just, I'm tired of this already, and it is what it is, right? And press conference itself, like I mentioned in the beginning, outside, which was really bad. The crowd was very little. Maybe there was more in the back, but what I saw about the crowd, it was not that many people. I think they would have been better off inside a building with AC on. Because, come on, like, I think that's the only thing that bugged me about this whole thing was everybody was, I'm sure they're sweating their pants off. And, like, you guys decided to host the conference outside when, I don't know, Japan is roasting. That's just my personal opinion. But, hey, I mean, I don't get paid the big bucks to really give suggestions or be like, it is what it is. I hope everybody who was in the conference is okay, they didn't faint and all that, because my God, those actors, like I said before, they were all moist. They were all sweating. You could see in their faces all wet and like, ooh, they're radiating off their pores, that sweat, like, Jesus. I'm like, oof. I feel bad. And that woman, I mean, again, is she brave or foolish to wear all black outside? I mean, she was insane. And also, she was talking way too fast. Like, damn, lady, you really... And in terms of the actors themselves, I mean, I've noticed that maybe the actor who plays Nox looks like he doesn't want to be there. He just looks all sad/serious. Others are like, it's just, I'm suffering from the heat, so I can't be all excited too much. And yeah, and at least the main actor, Boku, I know it's not his real name, but Ace 2.0. That's his new nickname, guys. Ace 2.0. He looked like semi-excited. At least he wasn't feeling awkward compared to Gotchard's actor. He felt like, when the MC asked him to, hey, do you want to perform the henshin? He looked like, what? I didn't know I had to do that. Like, it just came out of nowhere for him, and his facial expression just spoke volumes. But in this case here, he was like, oh, okay. And he was giving the demonstration of how the belt works and how he was going to do it, which the catch phrase is, I'm on it. So there's going to be a lot of English into this season now. And yeah, I mean, it's what you expect from a press conference. And, I hope that this season could top, Gavv, because, each season, has to be better than from the previous ones. That's just my opinion. Hopefully it's not a flop, but Yuya's at the helm, so we will see how much he has improved on his writing. And yeah, I think that's it, guys. So, have you guys watched the press conference, hopefully with subtitles? What's your impressions about the actors, the trailer, the suit? The suit looks okay. Whatever. Which I'm curious about, how is the ultimate form and its final form is going to be like. The streamer I was watching, he was like, can you imagine the final form that Zeztz is going to have 2 belts instead of 1? That would be like, how can you create an ultimate form, let alone a final form with that suit? Like I'm very curious, but we have a whole year to find out. So yeah, so give me your thoughts and opinions about the conference, the actors, the trailer. Just, do you think this is going to be a good show just like Gavv, or is it going to flunk just like Gotchard? Give me your thoughts and opinions. And also, just an added bonus, who do you think from this cast is going to die on Christmas? I already have my thoughts on who's going to quote-unquote die, but I will keep it a secret for now. But in any case, thank you so much for listening, and give a like if you like it, and please subscribe, and I'll see you all on the other side of Oblivion. Johnny!